Oh, welcome back to the Matrix. And just Matrix, you are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today we got ourselves a banger daily market news analysis. What is up? What is up? How's everyone feeling out of 10? Let me know down in the comments down below. Make sure you guys are spamming that like button, hitting that share so other people can spam that like button. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, y'all. First, let's go. 9.5. All right. As of the time of recording, Bitcoin sitting at $119,099.99. And we're just still kind of chopping here. That's basically what we've been seeing for the past, couple, like a week or so now. We popped up, went from on July 5th, we popped up to 122. And we've been just basically, since we popped above there, when did we get above 118? When was the first time we peaked above it? 116, July 10th. And we have basically just been chopping in between 112, 114, 115, and 122, 123 was basically the height. We've been in this range for 17 days now. Okay. And that's basically what I anticipate for Bitcoin. I think that it's going to be a whole lot of nothingness. Now we're about to get across to the upside on the daily, which is a really good sign. On the 5 hour, we're getting a little bit of momentum here, picking up. Nice cross to the upside in neutral for the 5 hour. So we could see a test the top of this range again, 122, 123. All that would be completely normal. Bitcoin Dominance. Looks like it had a dead cat bounce. We said we had marked out the 0.5. It got to the 382. We'll see. This got super oversold. Now it got decently overbought. Crossed back to the downside on the daily. And we are basically neutral right now. So I would like to see another... excuse me. I would like to see another lower low come in from Bitcoin Dominance. I don't know that the 382 was all that we're going to get. I did think that we were going to get to the 0.5, but hey, if we only get to the 382, that just shows even more strength out of the altcoins, which I think is a reasonable outcome to think, especially just knowing where we've been at, how oversold the altcoins have been for so long. I think that that's reasonable. XRP is looking good. Had a breakout back test of the prior range. I think that is pretty normal as well. We were very overheated on the daily, came back, reconsolidated a little bit. Let's go to the 5 hour and see exactly where we got to. This was your micro distribution, and then I would say that this is micro accumulation. We got very oversold on the RSI. This is a decent level of support over here. I think I could see us getting to 280, even 270, but, we talked about it, 295. That might have been it. XRP is the absolute king of boring until it is not. We talked about it too. It's very rare the first time you get to an all-time high that you actually just break above it and smash through it. That's pretty rare. You don't really see that too often. So peaking above it like we did, breaking back testing it, I think is a very good thing. That's basically what we got with Bitcoin as well. This is a breakout back test. Ethereum is just about to make a new daily yearly all-time high right now. In fact, I would say that it has, although we were higher this is the yearly all-time high right now. So the year of 2025, Ethereum has just put in a new all-time high and is flirting right now with putting in a macro. That's going to be the next thing. Ethereum still, to me, is the key. We are now flirting with getting above the macro 702 Fibonacci retracement. It's a little bit hot on the daily, but we have had a cross to the upside on the 5 hour chart, which is a really good thing. Generally, what we see, the 702 is the decider. If you get above the 702 Fibonacci retracement, 9 times out of 10, you get into price discovery. That is what I anticipate. My 3 targets for Ethereum have been, from the beginning, 3,300, 7,200, and 12,000. I've said also, I think the highest probability landing spot for Ethereum is 7,200. That's where I think that we're going to go. If you like ski, where are we going? give me the number. If you pin me down, not to low, medium, high, I think the highest probability is 7,200, and that's what it looks like we're gearing up for that. And Bitcoin dominance is going to continue to fall. But that is your market update. With that, let's get into your guys' questions, comments, concerns. I'll just put a nice little cherry on it. We had our break higher. We were flowing from Bitcoin into XRP into Ethereum, and I think the next step is getting into some of the other larger caps, into some of the medium caps, and so on. Thank you for the gifts, my brother in Christ. The hearts, the TikToks, the finger snaps, the friendships, the TikToks. I appreciate you, brother. 7,200 would be wild. It would be wild, but it wouldn't be crazy. XRP 5, 8, and 12 are still my targets. Bitcoin dominance is currently at 61.18%. We've had kind of a dead cat bounce to the 302. Actually, what I charted out was somewhere between the 0.5 and the 702. The 302 is okay. I would like to see the 0.5, to be honest. 63.1, that would make me feel a little bit better, and it would make me feel a little bit more sustainable, I guess. But, you know, it's not about what I want. It's not about what I want. It's about what actually happens. So the 382 might be it. I would like to see at least to the 0.5. That would make me feel really good. But, again, it's not about what I want to see or how I feel. So we'll see. If we get in a lower low from here, then that's just what it's going to be. It's going to be a continuation, and this would be all that she wrote to the 382, rolling over, making a macro lower low. What is Pulse Chain? Are you asking me what the actual project is? Vchain, please. 20-40 cents. 60 cents. XRP 5, 8, and 12. Yo, Ski, what's up, brother? How much higher for Bitcoin dominance from here? If we were to get to the 0.5 to the 702, 0.5 is 63.1. 64.36 is the 702. So somewhere in there is where I would like to see us go to. Again, it's not about what I want to see, though. It's about what actually happens. The 0.382 is a pretty common place as well. It's just not as good, not as common or as healthy as the 0.5, I would say, for a dead cat bounce. But 382, that might be it. So we hit the 382, nailed it perfectly on the head, as we can see here. That was 62.51%. That might be it. In all honesty, that might be it. We're pretty neutral on the 5-hour chart right now, so that might be it. We'll see where we go to. On the daily, still a little oversold, but neutrally oversold at this point. Solnick is my number one 100x play. I just made a video on that. Check out that video. My targets are 10 cents, $1, $5.89. Sup. What's up? How's the migraine? Feeling good today. I had a pretty bad migraine yesterday. I've been getting a decent bit. Are you less bullish on ADA? I am not less bullish on ADA. In fact, I think ADA is a prime candidate for one of the blue chips that's going to take off and really take the market down with it. I'm less bullish right now on Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. I think that generally they're going to go higher, right? Like, I think that Bitcoin will, the highest probability is 138. Reasonable to get to 207. But, you know, if we're keeping it a buck, that is, we're talking about, 15% move for Bitcoin. That's nothing crazy at all. As high as 207, and we're talking about, less than a 1x from here. 75% move. So generally, I think that Bitcoin's going to go up, but that's what I think is left for Bitcoin. XRP, same thing. Like, I think XRP is going to go up, but $5, $8 are the highest probability. We might get to $12, but again, what are we talking about here? We're talking about 50% move. We're talking about a 1.5x move, and maybe if we're lucky, blessed, and highly favored, we're talking about a 2.7x. That's what I see left for XRP. Ethereum, 7,200 is what I've been saying. So we're talking about what is the move here? 1x from here. That's the highest probability. A 1x from here. Maybe we get to 12,000, which is 2x, 2.1x. Again, so if you're asking me, like, I'm not that bullish on those because I don't think that the ROI for that is crazy for XRP, Bitcoin, or Ethereum. But they had to go first. And let me be clear. They had to go first. We have been waiting on them to go for months. I've been talking about it for months, months, and months. For me, are they going to continue to rise? Probably. Most probably. But are they the play from here? No. I'm way more bullish on Vchain, ADA, Link, and some of the other blue chips from here than I am on Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum. I just spend so much time looking at them because they are the key to what everything else is going to do. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully everyone is still with me. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So I'm not that bullish on Bitcoin, XRP, or Ethereum from this point as far as ROI goes. I think they're generally going to keep going, but I think the rest of the show from here on out is going to be about the altcoins. That's what I really think. The best to do it. Show your port. What are you asking me, bro? My portfolio? Is that what you're asking me? My portfolio holdings are available on the Telegram. Rose prediction still the same. Does that mean that Bitcoin is topping out here? It's not topping out. It's just, let me show you exactly where I think that we're at. If we were to line up Bitcoin in 2021, let me show you where I think that we're at. Okay, let's do that. So here's the peak, basically. We got a little bit higher over here in November, but this was really the Euphoria, April of 2021. Bitcoin gets to 65,000. This was the peak climax of the Euphoria, was April for Bitcoin. Okay, I can show you this on Google Trends as well. In fact, let me show it to you. Let's just not even take my word for it. Okay. So if I type in Bitcoin, I think it was Bitcoin or crypto. I don't remember. I think it was crypto or I don't remember. But let's go on the 5-year. It was crypto, but that's okay. You basically see the same thing though. So look, this was in May, the highest it got. Look at November. November it went higher. Excuse me, this isn't even no. Where's November? Yeah, November's right here. Like it's not even on the radar compared to what it did in April. Really, the thing was crypto. It lines up perfectly. Not Bitcoin, but that's okay. It still shows you, like, the interest was not there. Even though we went higher, the interest from retail was not there. Here we go. This is perfect. Okay, so April was right here. This was April. You can see the Google Trends was at the height. So technically May 2nd. Okay. And then this is November right here. This is just a retrace. Okay, so this is the real buying climax is the point of what I'm saying. And this is textbook in Wyckoff. Okay, Wyckoff distribution. You go into accumulation, which is a bottoming structure. Your markup, which is the bull run. Distribution, that's the top. Okay, let me show you the distribution schematic here. This is the one that we got. Buying climax, that's the real top. That is the climax of buying. And I want you to know, the UT goes higher. The climax of buying is here. The UT goes higher. All right, so this is what we need to fundamentally understand. April was the real top. I understand that November went higher. The real top was April. All right, this is what we need to fundamentally understand about structure. The climax of buying was in April. Did we go higher in November? Yes, we did. That is textbook. But the climax of buying was in April. Okay? All right, everybody with me? So, this is what distribution is. This is your buying climax. This is your upthrust. This is your LPS. And then you start your markdown and you go into accumulation. All right? Everybody with me? And the point of that is, like, where do I think that we're at? I think we're here for Bitcoin. Do I think that Bitcoin is topping out right now? No, I don't. I think it's right in here where it just broke above this first peak And this is when all the real excitement really started. From here on, Bitcoin only did another 55%, maybe a 65% move. But this is when the excitement really was here. And that's basically what I think is happening right now for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin already did from this point, from the C19 crash to basically where I think that we're at before we go into distribution. Bitcoin already did a 13x into 2021. It didn't, nothing was exciting at that point. Even though Bitcoin did a 13x, that's why we need to separate the feelings from the facts. That's why we need to separate, well, everyone's like, but it's different this time, it's different this time, it's different this time. But Ethereum is so far behind, and I say to that, wrong. That's not true. That's the difference between feelings and facts. We can look at XRP, we can look at Ethereum, we can look at Solana, we can look at anything you want to look at, but here is the reality of separating the feelings from the facts. So from this point right here, that's when Bitcoin had already done a 13x. During that same time, look at Ethereum. So I'm going to circle the same exact date so we can see it on Ethereum right here. This is it right here. So my white circle is the same as the purple circle. I'll make it white so we have the same date marked, lined up. This is the same. Everyone says, but it's different. Ethereum is so far behind. That's what they were saying. They're not really saying that now, right? How quickly the narrative shifts now that Ethereum's at 3,800. But I want you to remember, just a month ago, just 2 months ago, that's what they were saying, right? And that's the difference between feelings and the actual facts. Bitcoin did a 13x during this time, right? And then from this moment, it only does another 50%. I want you to look at what Ethereum does from that moment, right? So again, Bitcoin only does another 50% from this moment, from this white circle right here. Bitcoin only does another 50% move. Look at Ethereum though. Look at Ethereum. Ethereum, by the way, not even the highest ROI. And like, imagine the other things. Ethereum from the moment does a 5.6x. Okay. Let's look at something else. Let's look at a like Link or a something like that. Let's look at a blue chip. Let's look at ADA. ADA would be a good example. Let me find ADA here. Vchain would be a good example. HBAR would be a good example. All right. So here we go. HBAR is fine. So what is this date? January 21st. January 3rd, 2021. Excuse me. All right, I'm on market cap. Let's line it up perfectly here. Again, I want to separate feelings from facts. HBAR was at bear market lows. Do you understand? In 2021, everyone keeps saying it's different this time. HBAR was at bear market lows. Do you understand? Do you understand? We were at bear market lows for HBAR. How quickly this will turn around. Again, Bitcoin did what from here? A 50% move. What did HBAR do? Let's find out. Find out next time on Dragon Ball Ski. Will Vegeta. A 36x. But it's different. This time it's all about Bitcoin, Ski. As if last time that's not exactly how it went. We could do this all day. The importance of separating facts from feelings. The importance of looking at data versus your delusions. The importance of looking at the chart versus, I don't know. Let's look at ADA. All right, same thing. Let's line up the date perfectly here. Here's the date. Bear market lows. But Ski, it's all about Bitcoin. The alt season's canceled. Do you understand? This is the same date. Literally, bear market lows. Do you understand? Bitcoin only did a 50% move from here. Bitcoin only did 50% from here. We have charted this out literally to a T. What did ADA do from here? A 16x. Come on now. Come on. BNB, good example. There's 1,000 good examples of Bitcoin goes first, then Ethereum, then XRP, then everything else. What have we gotten? We have gotten Bitcoin. We have gotten Ethereum has woken up. We've gotten XRP has woken up. What's next? Everything else. Jordan, thanks for the galaxy, my brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. All right, what do we got here? I've missed a lot of comments. NCT, we'll take a look at it. Solana, Vchain has a lot of room to run. A lot of things have a lot of room to run. That's what I'm saying. This is my whole thesis right now. We have done what we have talked about for months. I've been saying Bitcoin is first. XRP is first. Ethereum is first. Those need to go. They have done it. So now we're going to start shifting into the other things. All right. Do you think Bitcoin is dominance topped? Yes, I do think Bitcoin dominance is topped. I think that we're going to get a dead cat bounce and continue lower. NCT blue chip. I'd say NCT is probably a mid cap, but I think it's one of the coins I could definitely see being next. Link H-bar thoughts. I think that they are good for the short term and for the long term. How do you feel about the folks who front run having event? Everyone said that the halving 4-year cycle was dead. So I don't know which is it. My biggest fear is there's so much manipulation now that we won't get a bull run like 2021 versus 2017. I hear your fear. I hear you. But I would argue that it's like I'm showing you chart for chart. And what I should do actually is show you like let's look at ADA right now. Okay. I hear your concerns. Let's add in another layer to this. All right, so on the top is Bitcoin 2021. We're measuring from the C19 crash to the first time it really breaks into another price discovery, which is what I would say has happened, right? Bitcoin is now at 118, chilling, chopping, 119 technically. This is the first time we've really popped off, right? So then this is the same moment from that moment for ADA. Again, I want you to notice I've circled it. Same dates. Bear market lows. So now let's show ADA again. Where are we? Bear market lows. Bitcoin has done what? Got into price discovery. This is basically where I think that we're at for most of the altcoins. Is there going to be manipulation? Absolutely. What does that mean? What does manipulation look like? Here you go. Wyckoff accumulation, Wyckoff distribution. That's what institutional manipulation looks like. The answer to your question is there going to be market manipulation? The answer is 100% emphatically yes, it will be. What does it look like? Wyckoff. That's what institutionalized market manipulation looks like. If anything, it's going to be easier to read the more institutions are involved than not. Do total 3 versus Bitcoin. All right, let's do it. All right. Again, the point of what we've been talking about all day so far is this moment that I have circled here is basically Bitcoin for the first time popping into price discovery. Right? So here's the previous all-time high. Let's recap, okay? And the point of what I'm really trying to tear down is this narrative that it's different this time. Because chart-wise, it's not. Right? And what I'm really trying to drive the point home is Bitcoin did a 13x. Ethereum It only, from that moment, getting into price discovery, does a 50% gain from there, right? That's all it did. From here, Bitcoin only goes another 50% higher. We've already shown Ethereum from the same exact date did a almost 6x move. Ethereum, the second largest one, ADA from the exact same date does a 16x. HBAR from the exact same date does a 36x. What I'm trying to really drive the point home is there are levels and there are stages where Bitcoin goes first, emphatically first, by itself. That's what I'm really trying to drive home. Bitcoin is first, emphatically, by itself. Going into price discovery, and then you start to see rotation into Ethereum, and then to the other things. That is the levels, that is the stages. Everyone says it's different this time. The charts determine that was a lie. All right, so let's look at the total 3 versus Bitcoin. Like I forget who asked that. Thanks for the question. So here we go. We got the total 3 right now. We're going to line it up. Same thing. Let's line it up perfectly here. Here we go. I already got it circled. I'll circle it again for you so you can see. This is the same moment in time where Bitcoin goes into price discovery. I want you to look and notice, right? Let's do it like this so it feels like how it feels right now. Like, but Ski, the altcoins are at their bear market lows. It's different this time, Ski. But Ski, it's different. They're at their bear market lows. Bitcoin, this has been all about Bitcoin. It's been all about Bitcoin. The altcoins, they're dead. They're dead. The total 3, it's dead. When's it going to wake up? What I'm really trying to drive home is like, it's not different. Bitcoin goes into price discovery. Total 3, ADA, HBAR, Ethereum, XRP, they're at their bear market lows. Bitcoin only does another 50% move from here. From this moment right in here, Bitcoin does another 60% move from the absolute top. And let's look at what the total 3 does from the same time. Okay? From the same time, the total 3 does a 5.7x. While Bitcoin does a 50% move. I could do this all day. BNB is a good example. Exactly. I agree. How high will Doge go? I think Doge goes over $1. What is up, Ski? What's up, fam? Secret retail, buy the green candles. Yeah, literally. Quant or Vchain. I like them both. I like them both. How's my third review? I'd love to set up sell orders. Get ready. Edward, I'm going to have that for you this weekend, brother. Sorry for the delay. How about ICP? Do DYOR, not financial advice. Buy Sonic, people. Sonic is my my favorite 100x play, period. All right, let's look at some of the comments on TikTok. Total 3 versus Bitcoin. Solana to 600. I think that's plausible. I think 70% Bitcoin dominance is possible. It's possible, but I don't think it's plausible. I don't think it's probable or plausible. Is it possible? Anything is possible, right? Is it a likely scenario? No, it is not. It is not likely in the slightest. Let's go, Ski. Rose prediction still the same. I just need link to 40. I think that's super plausible. Super probable. Dinex looking good. I agree. Trey, me. The old coin chart looks amazing. Bullish. I think old altcoins. Yeah, I agree. Can you... The others, because Total 3 has XRP in it. All right, good. Others is even better of an example. Others is even a better example. So he wants to know, and again, I understand that there are people that are like, you know, going in and out of the live stream. So I'm going to try to keep things to where, so the context of what we're talking about, if you're just joining, what I really am trying to drive home here is there are levels, there are phases to this game. The levels go like this. Bitcoin is first by itself. It goes into price discovery first by itself. What is that number today? That number is 118. That was the first thing. That was the big thing that I was like talking about for months and months and months. We need Bitcoin at 118, and then we can talk about everything else. Okay? Then the next level is Ethereum XRP. We started to get that. That started to wake up. And the point that I'm really trying to drive home, we've done specific examples. We did Ethereum. We did XRP. We did HBAR. We did ADA. We've done the total 3. And what I've done is I have marked the point where Bitcoin gets into price discovery, which is this white dot right here. And we keep showing examples of other coins, and we're showing the exact same date, which I've already got it marked because I've already done this, of like, where was Bitcoin at? Where was this chart at? Where did Bitcoin go from here? Spoiler, 55% from this moment to the top, 55%. And then where did everything else go from that moment? Ethereum was 5.5x. The total 3 was a 5.7x. HBAR was a 36x. ADA was a 16x. Okay? And the point that I'm trying to drive home is separating the narrative, separating the feeling versus what actually, factually, real deal happened. And what actually real deal happened was Bitcoin went first, then Ethereum started to catch up, and then we started to rotate into everything else. That's what actually happened. And somewhere along the way, people completely abandoned that, said it's different, even though there is no factual data to support the claim. All right, so let's go. Now that you have the context, if you're just watching, if you just tuned in, let's do it for, on the top is Bitcoin from the C19 crash 2020 through January of 2021. That is when Bitcoin got into price discovery. Again, for today, that is 118. That's what we mapped out months, years ago. 118 is price discovery for Bitcoin. It is the same monumental moment. That's what we got a couple of weeks ago. Bitcoin went into price discovery. So basically what I'm arguing is here's where we are for Bitcoin. I'm not that bullish on Bitcoin. Bitcoin probably does another 15 to 70% move from here. That's exactly what it did. I want to show you real quick. From this moment, Bitcoin to the April top only does another 60% move. Okay? Not that much. This is the same moment. Same moment. You can see the dates are scrolling together. Okay? January 2nd, 2020. Excuse me. Here we go. January 2nd, 2020. January 2nd, 2020. This is the same date. Same date. I'm going to circle it. Make it the same. Same. On the top is Bitcoin from this moment that it already went into price discovery. On the bottom is others from this moment that it already went into price discovery. How high did it go? But it's different, Ski. This has been all about Bitcoin. This run, the altcoins are at their bear market lows. Ski, it's different this time. Ski, it's all about Bitcoin. Ski, it wasn't like this last time. Ski, the charts determined that was a lie. That's your feelings. That's not facts. You felt like it did that, but that wasn't what really happened. That wasn't really what happened. Others did a 13x from the same moment to the top. Bitcoin does a 60%. Others did a 13x. That's what you felt like happened, but that's not real. That's not facts. They all played like this. There's levels and stages to this game. All right? Man, I'm on fire today. When do you think ETH will break 4K? Soon. On his mama. Follow and subscribe. No one called 118 months ago. People called 100 and 120. No one said specifically 118. That's a lie from the devil. I have video evidence. No one but me. Video evidence. You know how I know? I'm not letting you get away with this, young man. I'm not going to let this lie from the devil, the lie from the devil, get away from this. You know how I know? You know how I know? Because I bet my beard on it, young man. I'm not letting this lie from the devil get away from it, young man. The bottom is in, boys. When was this date? Oh, yeah. April 7th. Ha! The bottom's in, boys. April 7th. How low did we get? I forget. Oh, that's right. 75K. 75K. And not only that, let's look at the comments here. Here, just for record, here we go. April 7th. April 7th, the lie from the devil. I'm not letting you get away with this, young man. You're going to eat your words. You're going to apologize. Say no one but Ski. No one that I was aware of. All right, April 7th. Here we go. And this is when I made a video. Whew. This is when I made a video. Let's go back. Let's look at the comments because this is when I made the bet. The next bottom will be after $118,000. April 7th. April 7th. Bet your beard on it. So Jeremy, shout out to Jeremy. Jeremy's the one that challenged me to put my beard on it because that's what I do on this channel. When I have super high convictions and no one else believes it, I'll bet my beard. Jeremy's the one that challenged me to do it, and I did it, and I started making videos April 8th, April 9th, April 10th, all the way through. I said Bitcoin would not go below 70K before it reached $118,000 or I would shave my beard. So listen, brother, I need you to eat your words and say no one but Ski was calling for 118,000. No one but Ski was calling for 118,000. Don't just show up in here, got your hands in the Kool-Aid, you don't even know what flavor it is. Get your hands out of my Kool-Aid. Get your hands out of my Kool-Aid. You got lucky, bro, again. Oh, God. Listen, bro, I keep receipts. Don't. People think I'm just pulling them up arrogantly. Maybe a little bit. Maybe 20% is just like beating my chest. But for real, it's like, how do you separate? Like, anybody can draw lines in the circle, lines on the chart. Anybody can do that. I keep receipts to show people that what I say, I have conviction in it. I have a track record of it. Am I perfect? Do I get things wrong? Yes. But am I in the correct flavor? Do I have my hands in the Kool-Aid with the correct flavor 9 times out of 10? Yes. Yes. Do you think the FOMC decision will affect it? It could. It says, preach, brother. Hey, Ski Crypto Mackie here. What is up, brother? Good to see you. So hype right now. Say it with your chest. Oh, man. Yeah, listen, I don't know what happened to old buddy. I don't know. He just left that and just left. But I have receipts. That's just the Twitter receipts I made. I don't know how many videos saying 118. I don't know how many live streams I said 118. Nobody but Ski. Nobody but Ski. All right. I'm tired, boss. What do you think about Jasmine? I think it goes 10, 11, 12 cents. Mods, why so sensitive? Why I got muted? Anyone ever have coins disappear and reappear on Phantom? Yeah. It's just I think it's a bug with their app. Don't fade Ski and Solnic. What's your favorite meme coins on ETH when it starts ripping? Praying Hoppy bounces back. Solnic is on base. August 1st, the tariffs will affect the market. I think so. Listen, I've been saying I don't think it's going to be as big as it was back in April, if that's what you're asking me. But I am not generally that bullish for August and September. I think that we're going to be boring and choppy. History for Bitcoin says that August, September are the worst two performing months for cryptocurrency. So am I telling you it's up only? No, I'm not. When I've been saying November is the Euphoria, that's what I've been saying since 2022. November of 2025, I have been saying since November of 2022 is when I think will be the Euphoria. And I still think it to this day. Now, if you twist my arm, you could talk me into like we roll into 2026. I think that that's plausible because I do think there's a reasonable chance that the meme coins from the president and the meme coins from Argentina set us back a solid 6 months. So if you want to argue that we're going to roll into 2026, twist my arm, I'll believe it for $1. But my general thesis from 2022 has been November of 2025 since November of 2022 on my mama. On my mama. Andy on ETH. Follow on YouTube, but glad you're streaming on TikTok again. I appreciate that. That's right, guys. I am on YouTube live right now. They extended it. Tariffs. Tariff delay 90-day, which China ski. Okay, so we're talking about tariffs again. Again, listen. This is one thing that you need to know. You need to understand. It is not the event that the markets do not like. It is the uncertainty of the event that the markets do not like. Tariffs has been around. Tariffs has been a narrative in the news since January. So could it affect things? Sure. Am I generally not that bullish for Bitcoin in August and September? That's correct. Could it be the tariffs that happens? Yes. I want to show you this chart again. I've showed it to you many times, but I'll show it to you one more time. This is a lot of data, okay? This is 15 years of data that we know. Are there some outlier months? Yes, there are. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this. I always have a hard time finding it. Where is it? Where are you? All right, I'm going to give it one more attempt. Is there a Google? Here we go. Here we go. This is the chart. I need to save this and pen this because I always forget. All right, this is 15 years of data. This isn't like cherry picking data. Okay. Not super clear. Let me see if it'll let me pull it up. Generally, it tries to put me behind a paywall. We'll see what it does. Yep. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to try to save it here to show you guys what I'm talking about. Let's see if it'll let me. There we go. That's a little bit better. Nice. Okay, good. So here is 15 years of data for Bitcoin specifically. Again, Bitcoin is different than the altcoins, but they kind of play together. Now, I do think that we have shifted into the beginning of alt season. So even if we have a pullback for Bitcoin, at this stage, I don't think it's going to be as bad for the altcoins as it has been in previous stages. But there are outliers, right? There are outlier months. But generally speaking, this is 15 years of data. And this is basically how Bitcoin performs. The worst two months are August and September. The best 2 months are April and November. October also is a very good month. Those are the highest 3 performing months are April Highest 4 performing months are April, May, October, November. The worst 2 are August and September. September is the only month that has a significant negative 5%. Every other month is bullish. Okay? This is 15 years of data. Now, have we had some bullish Septembers? Yes. October last year, I think, was only 20%, but it was like 45% for November. Okay, so it's not perfect. It's not a perfect science, but this is a good guiding light to how Bitcoin's going to behave. So do I think that this August, this September is going to be different? It could be. But do I think that we could have a correction? Absolutely. Absolutely. Our generation knows how to bookmark. We just don't like to, right, Ski? That's right. All right. I already freaking exited out of it. I keep saving it. Okay, you know what? Yeah. Yeah. I just need to, yeah. Screw bookmarking it. Don't fade the bullish. Should I sell my bags until November? I don't advocate doing things. Listen, I just showed you what. Okay. Now I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth. We have a guiding light as to what generally Bitcoin likes to do month by month with over 15 years of data. Now, that being said, it's a guidance. It is a look out for this. What I do not advocate for is November is here, time to sell. September is here, time to buy. I don't advocate for that. How's XCN looking? Looking very good. Because you can't seasonality. Yeah, that's right. I'm a seller, not a speller. You right. You right, bro. You right. Predictions for H bar 66, 88, 120. $1.20. Ski, do you believe in the 16-year financial cycle? If so, we do for a crash this year. Where'd you hear that from? Ondo. The cycles that I believe in are the 4-year cycle and the 7-year cycle. The 7-year cycle, I think there's some real merit to that. To me, out of all the yearly cycles, that is the biggest one. 87 was the 7th year. That was Black Monday. 94 was the 7th year. That was the bond market crash. 2001 was the 7th year. .com bubble crashes. 9/11 happens. 2008 was the 7th year. The 2008 financial crisis happened. Literally, 2015 the Chinese stock market crash. 2022 we had a recession. The war in Ukraine. FTX went to 0. Luna went to 0. All that was. So the next one is 2029. How close are we to the end of the world, Morpheus? Which world? The world as we know it? Anyone that's new, go watch his videos from 3 years ago. Ski never misses. I appreciate you, brother. I miss sometimes. But generally, I got my hands all up in the right flavor. XRP is exploding. Tell us about Teo, brother. Predictions on Brett. All right, we'll do some predictions now. Man, I brought it today. I brought it today, y'all. I came back from the migraine with a vengeance. Yesterday I had a really bad migraine, and I was struggling, but I came back with a vengeance today. All right. This is distribution, macro, markdown, accumulation, sign of strength back test. Retracement is 14 cents. Parabolic for Brett is 53 cents. Brett does have good tokenomics. Take Rizitan for migraines. I've had them since I was a little kid. Could you do TA on Chainlink? I'll just give you my... Listen, I do it every single day. I just made a video on Chainlink. Go check that out. I did a deep dive on that. I think it's my second to most recent video. But Chainlink, my targets are 38, 78, 178. It's no different from that video. ADA, 2468. XRP's up 1%. It's exploding. Ski's normally on point, but he doesn't believe in buying Pingu. I thought we are here to make money. I've never advocated no one buy Pingu. I've never said that. I said that I don't own any. It's basically at a double top right now. I don't think it's a good buy right now. It's going to be in price discovery. It probably has another 75%, maybe a 1.7x. That's what Bitcoin's going to do. So, yeah. Listen, from the bottom, it's already up a 12x. Congratulations. That's amazing. I do not advocate buying a 12x. No. I do not advocate in June of 2025 until now. It is sitting over the past 36 days. It's sitting on a 6x. I do not advocate buying a 6x in 30 days. No. I do not advocate that. Am I going to miss some stuff? Yeah, sure. Can this go another 1x? Sure. Am I going to tell my brother to go buy this? No. Do you actually get money out of this? Bro, I've been doing this full time for a while. I don't know, bro. You tell me. I bought Bitcoin at crazy under 20K. Video evidence, 15,500. I said the bottom's in. XRP was under 30 cents. I bought a farm with my profits from XRP. You tell me. You tell me, bro. At April 7th, I said the bottom is in. Bottom's in, boys. April 7th, 2025. And not only did I say that the bottom's in, but I said I would shave my beard if we went lower before we reached $118,000. At 74K. Do you understand? 74K. I said we would go to 118 before we reached a new low, or I would shave my beard. I would shave my beard. Do I make money from this? You tell me. April 7th. When was April 7th? Oh, yeah, that's right. The bottom. I've called 8 of the last 9 bottoms with video evidence. I'm the master bottom feeler. There's no better bottom feeler than I. Sonic chart. Sonic is looking beautiful. I just made a video on Sonic as well. But I think that we are in phase C of Wyckoff accumulation, working on phase D. This is what I'm talking about. Wyckoff accumulation. Phase C is either the spring and or LPS. I think that Sonic got the LPS version this time, and I think that we're starting to get into the sign of strength. That is a oversimplification of where I think that we're at. I will show you real quickly because I do have it mapped out here. Basically, this is where I think that we're at. My targets are still 10 cents, $1.589. I have the only beard bet I have right now. Sonic will reach 7.5 cents by the end of the bull market, or I will shave my beard. That is bare bones minimum. What are we talking? What are we talking? We're talking the Rolex wearing. That's a 13x, or I will shave my beard. So skis a bottom. Last April didn't follow Bitcoin seasonality. Again, listen, this is a guidance. This is a guidance. This is not gospel. This is not the 10 Commandments. This is not, verily, verily, I say unto you, this is a guiding light. Why I don't recommend making, and I said, there's outliers. There's always outliers. That's right. There are outliers. Yes. November, the highest performing month on average. That's also when we got the FTX collapse. There are outliers. It's a guiding light, not gospel. There are definitely outliers. So are you advocating to me that August and September could be different? It definitely could be. But what I'm advocating is I'm not going to be caught off guard. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to be caught off guard by it. That's all I'm advocating. Not even necessarily what I'm predicting. I do think that we will have a little bit of a cool off in August or September. But probably, and I said after 118, so we already got there. Could we backtest to 112, 113? Sure. You know what I'm saying? It's a guiding light, not gospel. Not gospel. Algorand, $2, $4. Bro was able to retire young. Sui. Someone told me Ondo will 50x from here, maybe in 50 years. Not this cycle. We'll be lucky for a 5x on Ondo. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. He says ex-military, believes in the Lord and his family. That's right. Those are my guiding factors. Dinex is flying. And Ski we trust. LCX $1 to $2. Will Solana hit $200? My targets for Solana are 420, 510, 600. You and Alex have a lot of faith in other coins, but hasn't moved up like you and Alex have a lot of faith in Vchain, but hasn't moved up like other coins. Again, I've been talking about this all night, but we're going to do it one more time. We'll do it with Vchain. How about that? There are stages to this. There are levels and there are stages. And what I want to advocate, we talked about this all night, but we're going to do it one more time. From the C19 crash to price discovery, which I need you to know for this presentation purposes, when Bitcoin got into 118, this is the same structure. Okay? I'm going to show you Bitcoin from this moment. From here, everyone's like, it's only Bitcoin. Did a 16x. I'm going to show you, and I've been talking about it all night. We did the total 3. We did the others. We did HBAR. We did Ethereum. We did so many different coins showing this exact moment when Bitcoin goes into price discovery. Bitcoin was so far ahead of everything else and then only does a 50% move from this moment. Okay? And what everything else did. All right, so let's do Vchain. Vchain's a good example. But I've done this. I've been talking about this all night. ADA from the same moment. I'll just show you real quick because it's right here. All right, I have the white circle. The white circle is the same date. January of 2021. Same date. These are the same dates. Do you understand? Bitcoin had already done a 16x. ADA was at the bear market lows, but it hasn't moved like Bitcoin. It hasn't moved like Bitcoin. ADA does a 16x from there. 28x, excuse me. Here's the total 3. But the total 3 hasn't moved like Bitcoin. It hasn't circle. These are the same dates. Bitcoin does a 16x. It hasn't moved like Bitcoin. Bitcoin does a 50% move from here. The total 3 does a 5.6x. Come on now. 6x. But it hasn't moved like Bitcoin. There's levels, there's stages. Bitcoin is first. Then Ethereum wakes up, then XRP, then everything else. What have we gotten? We have gotten Bitcoin first to 118. That is the same moment. Then Ethereum started to wake up. XRP started to wake up. Then everything else. Let's show Vchain. But it's different. It hasn't moved. Let's show it. Come on now. Here we go. Right here. Right here. Let's do it perfectly. Right here. Boom. That's where it was at. Bear market lows. I'm going to circle the date. Let's line it up perfectly here. Bear market lows. Let's show it like it looks now. Play it like it lies. But it hasn't moved like Bitcoin. Bitcoin already did a 16x and Vchain hasn't done anything. It hasn't done anything. Bitcoin does another 50%. That's it. Vchain. Nothing too serious. Just a 14x. Come on now. Come on now. My price for Bitcoin since Bitcoin was at 16,000 has been low, medium, high. 118, check. 138, 207, low, medium, high. Since 16,000, not 116,000. Since 16,000, that has been my targets. Dinex is cooking, bro. Do you like meme coins? Not generally. Solnick is my favorite. I like Fat Cat, hee hee. Solnick looking really good. Solnick's my favorite 100x play. Fat Cat hitting the 10x. I think so. XYO, 5, 10, 20 cents. Low, medium, high. XRP, 5, 8, 12. By the way, that was my target at 30 cents. Okay? At 30 cents, my target was 5, 8, and 12. What's the SOS for Dinex? Let's look at Dinex. This is good. This is putting it at higher high. I would say that the sign of strength, honestly, this is going to be crazy. Boom. Right there. 15 cents. Because there's not a lot of inflation on Dinex. That's still a 1.5 from here, but it's already done a big move. Definitely woken up. I've put a pretty decent position on this. It's up a 1.9x. The bottom feeler, pause. Supski, you prefer Rust or Python? Rust for me because it's simpler and I'm not a great coder. I'm new compared to some people. What's your top 3 holdings? Bitcoin, XRP, Solana. But I'm a long-term investor. When should I start rolling ETH profit? Not a bad place right now, honestly. Listen, I am not that bullish on Bitcoin, XRP, or Ethereum from here. I am not that, let me say it again. I am not that bullish, and let me explain what I'm talking about, okay? Do I think that XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum are going to rise from here? Yes, I do. I think that Bitcoin, XRP, and Ethereum will rise from here. Yes. But my target is 138. That's 15% for Bitcoin. My parabolic target is 207. We're talking about 75% for Bitcoin. So do I think Bitcoin's going to rise? Yes. Am I that bullish on Bitcoin? No. What about XRP? My target since 30 cents has been $5, $8, and $12. So what is $5 from here? That's a 60% move. Do I think that XRP is going to rise $5, $8, and $12? High probability. Is that a crazy ROI? No, it's not. Because it's already done a 13 or a 11x, excuse me. Ethereum, my targets since the bear market low was 3,300, 7,200, 12,000. Okay, we already hit target number 1. Target number 2, 7,200. What is that from here? We're talking about an 85% move. That's a lot compared to the stock market. That's the highest probability landing spot for me. So do I think that coins will outperform Ethereum? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Chainlink. I like Chainlink a lot. Can you explain how you think Vchain gets to 20 cents by the low end? It's Fibonacci's plus market cap. Where is my Vchain? Where's my snare? Look at this too, by the way. This is the same exact. Okay, so structurally too, I'm gonna go over this. Same exact chart as Bitcoin back in 2013. Literally the same thing. Same thing that ADA is doing. Same thing that Vchain's doing. Same thing that Link is doing. They all have the exact same chart. Why do they all have the exact same chart? Because they're all going to do the same thing. Next. All right. The 618 Fibonacci, the 702 Fibonacci retracement. So really the low end on the macro, you could say, is bare bones is 14 cents. That's the 0.5. Everything that is not broken, that has good tokenomics, will dead cat bounce to the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement. All of them. Most of them will go north of the 702. That's 20 cents. So somewhere between for Vchain, 20 cents, or excuse me, 15 cents to 20 cents. I'm not going to say you could take it to the bank. Stuff could happen. The blockchain could break. Like there's outside risk, but generally speaking, everything that is not broken and does not have a stupid amount of inflation, which Vchain does not, will bare bones dead cat bounce to the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement. A lot of them will go to the 702. I think 15 cents is super safe for Vchain. But I think there's a high probability that we go to 20 cents. That's still pretty conservative to me. 40 cents is price discovery. That's where Bitcoin is at 118. There's a chance we could go to 90 cents. That's 3618. That's where Bitcoin went to last time. That's where it went to last time. I don't even count on that. I'm counting on just the 2618. I'm super conservative with my targets, guys. You know why? Because I believe in realized gains, not theorized gains. I think Arrow does a 3x from here. Render, I like render. $10 to $20. $8 for FET. I think Vchain's a good buy, yes. Stupid question, how'd you get 15 cents for Dinex? Okay, that's just experience. Let's go to Dinex. That's conservative, by the way. That's super conservative. So that's just experience. That's a guesstimation is what that is. Okay. Let's pull up Dinex and I'm going to show you. From my experience, which I already drew this out, by the way. I was looking at it like this. I didn't even see that I had this over here, and I put it at the same target I already gave. From my experience, generally what we see is the 236 is a pretty common sign of strength. Some things will only get to the 116. The 116 is like you could pretty much bank on that as long as there's good tokenomics, which Dinex has for a sign of strength. The most common place is the 236. That's the most common sign of strength. That's what I see the most. If I show you some charts, like I can show you all kind of charts. ADA was the 116. What do we have here? Trying to think of some good examples. H-bar might be a good example if we look at market cap. So H-bar actually got to the 618. That's what I was just going to say. The most common... All right, let's go back to Dinex. Let's explain this through. From my experience at looking at charts, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, the sign of strength will at least take you... If you just look at the bottom to the top and look at the 236, if you just draw a line in the middle, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, the sign of strength, as long as there's good inflation, low to no inflation, it'll at least go here. That's from my experience. The most common is the 236. Sometimes we see like AVAX, Link got above the 236, they go to the 382. That happens. And then some examples like H-bar, you get all the way to a full-on retracement, 0.5 to the 702 for your sign of strength. Ethereum was like this. I just kind of count on the 116, which is pretty much halfway between the 236 and the bottom. 9 times out of 10, as long as it's good tokenomics, that's what you'll get to. So that's the number. It could actually get to 34 cents. It could go to the 0.5. It could do all of that, but I like to be safe. I like to be conservative. I like to de-risk at good de-risking opportunities. So that's where I got that number, and it's just from my experience of looking at this stuff. I could show you other examples of sign of strength. Where did they go to? Vchain got to the 116. Same thing. See how it's like halfway. The sign of strength is like halfway between the 236 and the bottom. That's the 116. AVAX got all the way to the 702. Right? So that's accumulation. This is your sign of strength. It got all the way to the 702. Uni got to the 382. Right? So they're different. There's variance, but generally 236 is the most common, I think, but they generally at least go to the 116. That's generally what I see. Link, I think, got to the 382. Let me pull a fib. I don't even know why it doesn't have a fib on here, but yep, it got to the 382. That's what Link got to. ADA got to the 382. Well, the 236 for the yeah, it got to the 236 for the sign of strength. ICP got to the 116. I'm trying to think. What else? Exian got to the 236 over here. This is your sign of strength right here. Actually, this would be your sign of strength. Your markdown accumulation sign of strength was right here. This is, I would say, is the 116, same as what I'm calling for Dinex. It came back, reaccumulated, got to the move higher. By the way, this is the same damn chart as Vchain. Move higher, backtest, reaccumulation, and then what happened? Parabolic, 2618. Come on now. Naka, the SOS got to the 236. Ethereum Classic, the SOS got to the 116, maybe a little bit higher. XYO, the sign of strength got a little bit higher than the 116. So that's generally what you see, right? And then it got all a full-on retracement. That's just my experience. The 116 is pretty much, you can bank on that as long as it has good tokenomics. There's a chance it could go higher, but I just like to de-risk at good opportunities. Litecoin got above the 236. XLM got to the 116. This is what I would say is the sign of strength right here. This is the SOS right here. 116. So see how it's like halfway in between the 236 and the bottom? A little bit above halfway. That's just the 116. That's what that is. AVAX. Did we already do AVAX? Yeah, 382 for AVAX. That's the sign of strength right here. So they're different. There's variants. But generally, we always see the 116. I like to be conservative. That's just how I operate. I'd rather take profit than wait for the day that never comes. Ethereum, I think, got a full-on retracement for the sign of strength. Yes, it did. So this would be the sign of strength for Ethereum right here. It got to the full-on 702. So there's different examples. Bitcoin, I think, would be a good example as well. Let's pull this one up. Because the sign of strength was right here. This Bitcoin got to the 116. No. This Fibonacci is not correct. I moved that. Okay. So Bitcoin got to the 236 for the sign of strength. And then it got a back test. And then a breakout. So that was when Bitcoin got to 31K. That was just above the 236. Okay. So that's just history of looking at charts. That's where I came up with that number. That's a long-winded answer. It's based off Wyckoff. Very little of what I do is based off the 4-year cycle, other than just structurally where are we at. But like my targets are not based off of 4-year cycle. No. Can Solnik hit $3? I think so. My targets are 10 cents, $1, $5.89. My target for FET is $8. My target for Vchain is 2, 4, 6. 20 cents, 40 cents, 60 cents. Casper, Vchain, I like them both. I'd probably pick Vchain though. There you go. John, appreciate the question, brother. Hopefully I answered your question for you. That was some That was some, as the kids call it, alpha. Can Bitcoin close 120 tonight? It sure can. I don't pay too much mind of weekend closes, to be honest. I don't pay a lot of it, but it is something. You think Binance fixed $1? I think that's very plausible. I think 69 cents is the highest probability, but can it hit $1? Yes, it can. Says I have 50K. I don't know where to invest now. A lot of coins, LOL. Well, if you want to set up a consultation, that's something that I offer. If you guys want a personalized exit strategy or an entry strategy, like my man who has 50K to invest, that is something that I offer, a personalized portfolio review, exit/entry strategy, lifetime access to my course, lifetime access to my Telegram group, plus a one-on-one consultation. So if you're interested in something like that, hit me in the DMs. But that's going to be it for this time. How can I get with you? Hit me in the DMs and we will set up a consultation. I will never message you first. I will never message you first. If you message me, I will message you back. It is this account and my Yaboyski account. That is it. But I will never message you first. If a Yaboyski or a Skis Crypto messages you first without you messaging them, it's not me. Okay? It's not me. Because I will never message you first. All right, but that's going to be it for this time. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I will never message you first. If you message me, I will message you back. If you're interested in setting up a consultation, hit me in the DMs for that. That's something that we can set up. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I'm at Yaboyski everywhere. At Gayeski on Twitter. At Yaboyski on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram. That's also my backup account now, I guess. Yaboyski, YABOYSKEY. And then I have Skis Crypto, which is this account on TikTok. But that's going to be it for this time. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Peace, love, prosperity. God first. God bless.